In this video, we will talk about how to feel safe on the dance floor. Hello, my beautiful people. Rasa the dancer is here, and today's topic is actually made because there was a request from one of our subscribers. And the request is to talk about how to feel safe on the dance floor. And what they meant by it is basically how to protect yourself from the predators. So it's probably more relatable to the followers, to the women who are maybe not feeling very comfortable with some of the approaches that the men do on the dance floor. But if you are a guy and watching this, I really would like you to watch till the end, because your input really matters, because you actually are a guy. So you could explain certain things maybe a little bit better and maybe give some tips for the ladies in order for them to feel better as well. Now, before I go into the actual things, what I want to say, I also want to say that our dancing community is really safe compared to anything else. So we have these conversations only in order to make sure that it keeps on being safe. And if the situation arises, that we don't panic and we know what to do. Not because the dancing scene is crazy dangerous. No, compared to any other activity that you're going to do or be in a community, and especially including nightlife, our dancing communities for Salsa Bachata and kizomba is definitely safer than majority of the things that you could be doing. So I'm super proud of our community, and in general, really, really nice place to be in. But for those moments where something might happen, I got you covered, ladies. Let me give you some tips. This first point that I'm going to talk about is the most important point to my mind, because that's the one that you actually, I think, in the long run would need to work on yourself and see if you could grow from it. And the point is this: whenever a situation arises where somebody seems to be whether groping you or acting inappropriately or whatever that might be on the dance floor, you need to remind yourself that you have the control and you have the power. It seems like such an easy thing to say, and in that moment, it might not feel like it. And it takes time to train your mindset and your body in order to feel that it's actually true. But in the dancing environment, there's a lot of people around you. You're not on your own in the corner. And if something happens to you on the dance floor when somebody's being inappropriate, you have control to do many things. For example, you have control to push them away. You have control to walk away. You have control to shout at them. You have control to look to your neighbor dancers and say, he attacked me. Anything. I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. The reality is, what you cannot control is whether that's going to happen to you or not. Because no matter how safe the environment is, there's always a bad apple somewhere. So that you cannot prevent a thing like that, like an inappropriate behavior, to happen. You cannot prevent it, because you will walk in the street and suddenly some idiot will act inappropriately. You will sit in the bus going home and out of nowhere somebody might be inappropriate. You know what I mean? So whether somebody is going to be inappropriate, it's a given. How often that's going to happen? Not that much. Okay, it's very few cases here and there. But when it happens, if it happens, it might not even happen to some of you, but if it happens, you have the control to respond. Now, there are cases where some women go through something in life and they freeze in the moment. And I completely understand, right? I had already long conversations with some of my friends, because I'm more like, I'll beat you up myself, right? And I have some friends that were saying, we've been through stuff, and in the moment we freeze. We don't know what to say or what to do. It's like it's a response for whatever reason, right? And I get that now. I understand that a lot of the times you might not even be able to respond in the moment. But then you still have a control to walk away. At least that much anything is iffy, just walk away. You paid money to be in the event. You are having a good time. If something is suspicious, you do not need to explain anything, at least walk away. So that for me, the first point that I'm just talking about now, to take some power back. And of course, if you cannot speak or you cannot push somebody away, if you freeze in a moment, at least you gotta work within yourself to walk away and then think about what your next steps would be, right? But that is basically the most important thing for me. And this is what I think about if I would like to pass on something to women. And of course, it takes time to get to a state where you feel comfortable and empowered. But I think it's important to be so in order to make sure that these people who are predators and who are doing something nasty, that you can not only look after yourself, but you can help out your friends, fellow women as well, if they're going through it. So it's power, right? It's power all over. I have the power, I help you, you get the power. Suddenly, there's numbers in power. So we look after each other. But remind yourself that you cannot avoid certain things happening. They sometimes just do. But how you respond to it, now that you can control. Another thing that you could do is make sure you make friends. If you have friends in the dance floor, at least not necessarily always maybe somebody you come with, but if you have somebody to come with or leave home with, that's always very good, especially if the night finishes late. It's nice to have somebody maybe walk you to a car or to the tube or have somebody to go home with. And have some people that you know and you're comfortable with in the dance event that you are in. It's not necessary, but it is nice because then if you're going through anything, including the predators, you got somebody around that you already trust and you feel comfortable with to tell them and ask what to do or just get help or just to share the experience, whatever you decide to do. But I think that's super nice. Like for me, it's very comforting knowing that when I go to events, I know so many people. So I feel like I own the place because I know everybody. So if somebody touches me, I got a crowd that's gonna just be all over that person, and I'm not gonna hesitate because I know somebody's got my back. So making friends is a good way. And sometimes at night, if I need to go home, I'm thinking about maybe somebody else is going the same way. I always ask, so I wouldn't need to go necessarily on my own. So you try and surround yourself with the people you trust. So when somebody else misbehaves or puts you in a dangerous position or uncomfortable position, you don't feel like it's all on you, that somebody else also has your back. Another tip I can give you, it's not really a tip, but something to think about. Try to avoid a little bit more club nights and focus more on the actual events. Now, what is the difference? There's a lot of Latin nights that happen in clubs that are not necessarily attracting good level of dancers, people who focus on training and dancing properly. And if you go to those club nights, of course, very likely there's going to be random people who not learn how to dance properly, but they go there to have a drink and pick somebody up. So then, of course, you will be exposed in being groped, much more likely. Okay, that's the place. But if you go to events that are properly organized, it's only for salsa bachata or kizomba people, there's the promoters are serious and there's a lot of people who love to dance and they train and they go to workshops and all of them are there. That's a proper event, and then it happens less. So if you go to places that is known for the party, it will happen more often. But if you choose to go to places where the dancers go there to get good dances, then it happens less often. Now, again, for me, I love club nights as well, but I know how to, it doesn't bother me to be touched inappropriately because I push them away and it doesn't affect me. You know what I mean? It's different people live a different life, had different experiences in life, and they're responding to certain situations differently. So you need to know yourself. How are you affected? or not, and how you deal with certain things. And then if you feel like if somebody touches you inappropriately, it affects you deeply, then maybe you should choose events that are less club nights and more properly organized events just for the dancers. And then you will have a much greater time and very unlikely to get somebody drunk groping you. I hope this video was useful. As I say, it was based on a request. So I hope that whoever made that request, and you know who you are, that this was of any help for you. And if you have any more questions, just let me know. And in the meantime, if you have any other advice that you can give to the ladies that feel like they need to know what to do in case that kind of situation arises, or if you're a guy and you watch this till the end, if you have any feedback from your side for the ladies, that would be amazing, because we are a great community here. We try to, educate ourselves and just make sure we do the right thing and we get all the information that we can. So leave the comments and let's have a chat. And now, if you watch this till the end, subscribe, please. Give it a like, of course, show me support. And I'm gonna leave you here with other videos on what to do when somebody's being inappropriate. I made some other things and conversations I had with my friends. So check those videos out and keep on thinking about the subject.